Hi, friends. How are you? Welcome to this live appointment of the week. So, today I wanted to speak about something that it was inspired by a comment that a dear friend did on my last newsletter. The newsletter talked about awareness and how it is fundamental uh, as a step that sort of precedes any tool that we use for self development and growth. And so we talk about presence and about being still and be in the here, in the now. And so, as my friend, I asked some questions at the end of the newsletter, and I asked, how many times do you actually breathe? Take like a conscious breath and stay with your feelings, with your thoughts, with what's alive within yourself, your feelings and physical sensations. And so he was like, I would love to do this. I would love to meditate, but I just don't have time. And um, understandably so, because he works a lot and his life looks like very hectic. And from where he left me a vocal, so because he's a friend, and so I actually heard his voice and the way he was saying what he was saying. It's interesting how when we truly listen, there are things that are very subtle that we can sort of get when people speak. And so I had that. Like as he was speaking, I felt like he was sort of projecting himself in a time that was not now. And so sentences like, I wish I had, when I will have, then fill the blank. And and I thought, how we are used to, unfortunately, be in this mind trap. I call it mind trap because it's a trap. It's it's been in a time that is not in here, and so it's been somewhere else where things are going to be fantastic and perfect. And so that's the time, that's the place in time that does not exist because it's in the future, where we'll have what we want to have, what we wish we had now, but it's not here, it's not now, it's there, it's somewhere else. And so as we stay there, life in the meantime is passing by, and we're missing it. We're missing even ourselves, we're missing what we're feeling and our processes, we're missing what we need and what we long for. And we miss the beauty of life, that is in the small things. Just be present and observing something very simple, which can be nature, that is so still and present, and that actually connects us to this very moment, to life. And we may miss this nuances that are given by staying present with people, with dear friends. Perhaps we can capture, I think that's the word. We can capture something that is very subtle, maybe something that a friend doesn't want to say or is kind of sort of repressing, but we feel that there is something wrong. This is the power of the present moment, and there is much more, because when we are present, we automatically feel in a state of gratitude. In the presence, the mind is still. It's not in a space of fear. It's about meditation, which is a wonderful practice. Meditation, by the way, it's not something that we do. It's a state, it's a psychophysical state that we reach through certain exercises. But I will talk about this in another video anyway, because everybody says I do meditation. No, that's meditation is not something that we do. It's a state that we reach. But anyway, when we talk about doing the exercises that will bring us in a state of meditation, obviously we need that time. And it makes sense that if I wake up in the morning and I'm already so busy, perhaps I'm even late because I'm tired and I want to sleep, and then I have my client right there, he's waiting for me. I mean, not right there, right? Right close my bed, I hope no. But it's just like I don't have time. And yes, we can say I have so many things to do that it feels like there is no time. And that has to be seen. It has to be seen anyway, how we actually feel sort of trapped by the things that we do and by those have to. But that's another topic for another day. But what my point here is, we all breathe, right? If we didn't breathe, if we stopped breathing, or if the breath was connected to the mind, and so if the breath went back and forth and like a crazy monkey from one thing to another, from the past to the future, from the future to the past, we would be dead. And so the point is, we might not have time, but what if all we have is now, is this precious moment? And we can take this precious moment as an opportunity to be present and to breathe, to be present with our breath, to be present with whatever it's alive in our body, in sense like as physical sensations and in feelings. And that is already a practice that can bring us to stillness. It stills the mind, because now the mind is rooted, is anchored, I don't know. Anyway, is anchored in the body, which is still, it's always present like nature. And that's why when we feel overwhelmed or like triggered and it's just too much, feelings just arise and they pop in, and we feel overwhelmed, then a good practice, a great practice, is to come back to the body, to what is present. And that can be the breath. So we can switch our attention. Sorry, sometimes I forget English. Switch our attention from the mind, from the thought, from the train of thoughts, to the breath. And we can follow that abdomen that rises and that sort of shrinks, inhale and exhale, and we follow the breath. And as we slow it down, the mind slows down, because the breath is directly connected with the mind. And if we don't like that, or if we find it difficult for any reason, we can bring the attention and bring the focus to our palms, to the physical sensations that we feel in our palms. And if that too feels maybe difficult, we can go to our feet, to the sole of the feet, and we can stay there and we can feel whatever sensation is there. Is there cold? Is there hot? Is there tingling? Is there tightness? Whatever. And so that brings us into presence, into stillness, and the mind slows down. And when the mind slows down and is present, then we can think more clearly. We can breathe and think more clearly. So I finish here my live. I hope you can get something useful out of this, and I will see you next week. I'm working on my sort of landing page website, so then I will have a sort of opening for my newsletter, so you can subscribe and we can connect if you enjoy these topics. And yes, everything that goes around awareness and consciousness, and being present, because in the presence, in the presence and in the present moment, there is so much power. All our energy are there for us. They're not pulled back from in the past, they're not pulled somewhere else in the future. And so there is so much energy and so much power in our hands that we can use. So enjoy the practice. Find that little moment where you can stay still. If you can, close your eyes. And if you cannot, practice while you are awake, while you do activities, while you work on the computer or whatever job you do. Be present. That's a great opportunity that you have. I don't know how many hours you're awake during the day until you go to sleep. You can practice all of those hours. So we have so much time, in a sense. Okay, so thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Ciao.